Steve, why do we keep putting this loser up? Shreveport, Louisiana, the great Keel. What do you want, Steve?
How you doing, Mark? Hey, in 1999, the Republicans reversed the Glass-Steagall Act of the 1930s. Before then,
actually, hold on, let's slow down. 1999. Who was president, Steve?
Clinton was president.
Wait a minute. And he didn't veto the bill? He signed it?
Yeah, he sure did.
Well, it sounds like then they all did it, Steve. Why don't you get your facts straight? Go ahead to your next crucial point. Go to your next crucial point.
Here's my point. Before Glass-Steagall, the cycle in banking was about 15 years. Every 15 years it would collapse. After Glass-Steagall came in, that stopped. We reversed Glass-Steagall 7 years later. The entire banking industry.
No, that's not what happened. I know this makes you comfortable thinking that's what happened. Let me help you. We elected a disaster. His name was Jimmy Carter. Do you remember him?
Oh,
Jimmy Carter decided that he was going to push for banks to provide loans to low-income individuals. And he set loose his lawyers, his Treasury Department, and others to put those rules in place. Then along comes, after Reagan, a guy by the name of Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton, people may not know this, was surrounded by an awful lot of leftists too, not the least of which was his wife, but even more than that. He had a leftist at the Housing and Urban Development Department, a secretary who everybody swoons over now. His name was Cuomo. He had an attorney general named Reno. And he had a few different hats over there at the Treasury Department. And you know what they all did, Steve?
I'd love to know.
They took the Community Reinvestment Act and rammed it down the throats of every bank in this country, based on a false report from the Boston Fed. And you know what the Boston Fed said? The Boston Fed said all this redlining is going on, all this racial discrimination against poor people in the cities who want to buy homes, but the banks won't let them. So Clinton and Cuomo and Reno got together. And you know what they said? We're going to set quotas. And if you banks, you want to be able to expand, you want to be able to set up other offices, you want to be able to buy other banks and other businesses and so forth, you have to meet these quotas. And the bank said, well, these people don't qualify for these loans. And they said, the hell with your standards. The hell with the qualifications. You make these loans. And in some cases, banks were to make 45% of their portfolio to individuals who either had bad credit, no credit, or were a risk. And so that happened. And then you know what else happened, Steve? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac stepped in and said, we want in on this. So they not only did that, a lot of the private banks bundled these loans and sold them to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, by the way, which we subsidize, what we subsidize. And so they took these bundled loans. They couldn't get enough of them. And then you know what they did with them? They turned around and sold them to other investment houses, what we call derivatives. So throughout the entire economy, bad social engineering policy based on bad information, but it didn't matter, pushing a left-wing agenda. Oh, and by the way, George Bush, who I know you lefties hate, and Republicans in Congress, they went to Barney Frank, they went to Chris Dodd, chairman of the banking committees in each house, and said, we got to fix this, we got to do something about this. We don't have the same rules that apply in the private sector applying to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. We got to tighten this up. And they said no. Have I helped you, Steve?
So you blame the bank.
There we go. There we go. I said exactly what I said. And I said it slowly and clearly in plain English. I said exactly what I said. You'll find that most of the economic dislocation that occurs in this country, I know this is going to upset you, is a result of federal dictates. You see, because if one or two banks does something stupid, our society can handle that, Steve. But isn't it interesting that virtually every single bank was required to do this? What? How did that happen? Did they all get together and decide to do something stupid, like give loans to people who they knew couldn't pay them back? Thank you for your call. Call again, as I know you will next week. Now, ladies and gentlemen, go to meeting. Oh, wait a minute. I meant to give him a book. All right. Mr. Producer, next time Steven calls, he gets a book. What's fair is fair, okay? I apologize. Steve, call back. We'll give you a book. Signed copy. Sell it on eBay.